about logarithms, common logarithms. Common logarithms have a base of 10. We learned about E. What's E? 2.7 something, right? Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to solve these equations using what we call the natural log and our E. Okay? Natural log and E, boys, if you can't sit next to each other, you need to move, because I'm not going to say it again. Okay, so natural log and E are inverses of one another, so we're going to use those to solve these equations. Okay? So that's what we're doing today. All right, so next page. Okay, on the next two pages we have exponential equations. We will use natural logs to solve for x, and we're going to add in notes pages to show our work. Okay? So, let's look at the next page. Here's my problem. Negative 3e to the 4x plus 11 equals 2. I want to solve this for x, but where's my x? And the exponent. Now, normally when we have a variable in the exponent, we either use a logarithm or common basis to solve for it, right? Well, in this case, instead of using a common log, we're going to use a natural log. Okay, so let's see if we can split the page from here. I'm not sure that we can. We should be able to. Yeah, okay. So let's add our notes page right on the other side so that you can have it all on one page. Okay, so split your screen, put in your notes page, and then we'll split it again to put in a calculator page. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. We actually probably could have done it right from there, right? Okay, so you can probably split it 3 ways right from the beginning. Do we have an option that looks pretty? I'm going to use 7. The top I'm going to have as a notes page, the bottom I'm going to have as a calculator page. Okay, so I want to solve this for x. But first I have to get to the x. So I need to move everything else away from it. Okay? So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to isolate my e to the 4x. So how am I going to go about isolating it? Subtract 11 to start. Good. So negative 3 e to the 4x equals, for subtracting 11, we're going to have negative 9. Good. Okay. Is e isolated yet? What do I do next? Divide by negative 3. So I get e to the 4x equals 3. Good. All right, so now here comes the part where I need to get rid of that e. Now I said the inverse of e was what? Natural log, right? Natural log is written ln. Remember, you guys saw it on the homework, you thought it said in. It's our natural log ln. We have a key for that. Notice where it sits? Because it's inverses. Remember, our logarithm was the inverse of our 10 to the x, and this is inverse as well. So ln, you're going to take the ln of both sides of e raised to the 4x, close your parentheses, equals ln of 3. All right, so now I've got the natural log. A natural log follows the same rules and same properties as our logarithms do. And notice I have an exponent here. Where do you think that's going to go? Okay. So we get 4x ln of, I'm just going to put e so I don't get that box. Okay. Equals ln of 3. Doing all right? Okay. Now, I want to know what the ln of e equals, because I said that they're inverses of one another. They're going to help us out, right? So I want you to put in your calculator pages down below ln of e so that we see what that actually is. And it's going to come up with your little box. What are you going to put for the exponent? 1. So ln of e to the first power, and it's going to give us 1. So that's why we take the natural log of both sides, because it's going to get rid of that e for us. Yeah, they simplify to 1. Okay, yes, dear. Oh, thank you. Okay, so we have 4x equals, and I still have ln of 3. Okay, got rid of our ln of e. Brought down our exponent so that we can actually get to it now. We've got the ln of 3. Ln of e is, so if you put a 1 in here, 4x times 1 is. Okay, so now I still haven't gotten x alone, right? I'm solving for x. What do I do? Divide by 4. So we get x equals, and then as a fraction, ln of 3 over 4. And how do you think I'm going to find the value of that? Yeah, I'm going to copy it because it's easier to do that. I'm going to paste it and get my answer. All right, so here's our next problem. Now, we're going to do the same exact thing we did, except notice we have an inequality sign. Okay, we're going to just keep our inequality sign. So please split your page. I would. I like having it all on one page. Okay. So I've got e raised to the 5x is greater than, is greater than or equal to 25. All right, so what's my first step, guys? Natural log of both sides. ln of e raised to the 5x equals natural log, of 25. Okay, good. So let's skip a step. We know that the ln of e is what? And we know that 5x is going to drop out front, right? So let's just skip that step. What are we going to say? Good. Natural log? Correct. Okay, good. Doing all right so far? Last step. Did we divide by a negative? No. So now we would just take that. Nope. All right, so let's look at the next one. Turn my page. All right, the following questions are natural log equations, and we're going to use the inverse to solve the variable. So what's the inverse of a natural log? E. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, split the screens to solve for these. Here's our first one. This time we have a natural log. So let's split our screen to start. And now this time, instead of taking e of both sides, because that really doesn't make any sense, we're going to, this is going to become e to the ln of 2x equals e to the 4th, because we know when we have e, we have to have an exponent, right? So e, you're going to put in your natural log of 2x equals e to the 4th. So instead of taking both sides, like we did the natural log of both sides. Now we're using our exponents. Okay? Now, e to the ln, go away.
But isn't ln 2x like 1?
Yes. It's hard to explain. Just, yeah. All right, so we get 2x equals e to the fourth.
Oh, my computer is from YouTube.
I know.
Go against I read it.
Okay, so we're here. Now what? Divide by 2. So we get x equals, yeah, e to the fourth over 2. And now I want to know what that equals, right? How am I going to find it? Calculator. Control C, Control V. Let's go to the next page, please. All right, so I want you to go ahead and give this one a shot, okay? We have a natural log, so what are we going to use? E. So go ahead and try this one, please. Split your screen, do all that stuff. So we should have gotten here, right? We got there. Okay, so you should have gotten x plus 1 equals e to the first power, right? Okay, well, we got to get x alone, so subtract the 1, and then find that value. How many people got that right? Huh? Can I scroll back up?
Use the 1 first, and then
Sure, that's fine. All right, so now this one's a little bit different, right? How is it different? Oh, who said that? Marissa, what do you have to do? You have to smoosh it. You have to condense it before we can use our E. Okay, so split your screen. Sploosh? Why sploosh? Mr. Cooper.
Yeah. And every time I hear it, it makes me want to say that.
Okay, so we have to smoosh it. Addition turns into multiplication. So, what am I going to write? Natural log of
3x squared.
3x squared. We haven't gotten there yet. We have to smoosh it first. Oops. Natural log of 3x squared equals 12. What's x times x? Okay, so we get the natural log of 3x squared equals 12. Now we can throw the e in there. So go ahead and finish it from this point.
Wait, so we don't do that.
I'm not a nice person. Okay, we're going to do most of them together. All right, so what's our next step? Use the e. Okay, so e raised to the natural log of 3x squared equals e to the 12th. We good? So now we get 3x squared. Hate that it does that. Equals e to the 12th. Next step. Divide by 3. So we get x. It's going to do it again. X squared equals, stop, wait, e to the 12th over 3. Last step, square root. X equals the square root of e to the 12th over 3. Notice I didn't do any algebra until the very last step where I now take this and get my answer. go ahead. Take a look at the next one. Can I smoosh the left-hand side? No. Can I smoosh the right-hand side? Smoosh. Smoosh the right-hand side. Now that we have the right side smooshed, what do? Ease. What's going to happen? They're both going to cancel. So let's skip that step. We know they're both going to cancel when I use my ease. Say it again. Thank you. No, that's fine. Okay. Plus 12 equals 8x. Do I want to leave it like that? What do you think? Yeah, good. Set it equal to 0. So x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. Good. Doing good so far, guys. Who said that? Marissa, again. Factor. Good. Factor away. Dan, did you factor it? What'd you get? And your solutions were? Good. How are we doing? Good. Okay, so our homework for tonight, we have lesson 25 homework, which is a worksheet. We are going to do all of them. We're going to do a couple of them together. Well, what time is this class on? We're going to do like one of them together. And we'll go over it hopefully next class. Next class, we're going to be reviewing for your midterm. So work on the practice midterm. Come prepared with questions. Because if you don't come prepared with questions, I will just give you the midterm next class and you'll start it then. Okay?